What's up, everybody? This is Big Herc Prison Talk, and I want to say thank you to all our supporters. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel on YouTube, Fresh Out Life After the Penitentiary, please do so, and make sure to check us out on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, and keep clicking. Thanks for the support. I had a question from one of our viewers about getting out and getting your dick wet, and what that experience is like, how you go about dating again, and just basically finding female companionship. It's crazy, man. Getting out after doing all that time, man, it's almost like being a virgin again, because you've been beating your meat for all that time, man, and now you can actually talk to a woman without getting in trouble. You talk to a woman in prison, it's a fine line, unless you're cool with them. You can't say certain things. I mean, if they get mad at you, they can send you to the hole for harassment. You can catch more time. You can't spit no game. It's just a lot of bullshit, man. And it's almost like counter to all human nature to not be able to socialize with the opposite sex. You're around nothing but barbarians. You got to be super aggressive, and now when you get out, you got to kind of let go of a lot of that in order to become more socialized. So getting out for me, and I went to the halfway house, and didn't have a car, had a little bit of money in my pocket, and didn't have any female that I was down with that was riding with me when I got out. So I was single, and you're sitting in the halfway house. Luckily a friend of mine helped me get a cell phone. When I went in, they had the Nokias, and when I got out, it was the Blackberries, and they had all these dating websites and stuff like that. They didn't have that when I went in 2000. So 2008, things have changed. But sitting up in the halfway house and just trying to find a job, and trying to they had females there, so you're smiling at the females, you're trying to do your thing. It's a crazy experience, man. But trying to actually hook up in LA with no car, very limited amount of money, it's a challenge within itself. But I eventually got a car from one of the homies. He helped me out. I bought me an old Mercedes and shit, and that was my little under bucket. I would park down the street and basically go out and say I was going to work, and be going to work, and in between that work, I'd be trying to see if I can't find me some coochie, man. And a couple guys put me up on game. Dudes up in the halfway house who had already been out for a little while. It's like, hey man, you can sign up on this website, and hook up, and try to see if you can't get some women hitting you up. And I took a couple pictures up in there, and try to make things happen, man. And people are like, oh, guys, you're such players. I'm like, look, man, when you ain't had no pussy in almost a decade, you gonna take down any and everything. And that's what dudes up in there doing. And they call that prison dick, because when you get out and you ain't fucked, you basically putting a beat down on the coochie. And that's basically what the dudes up in the halfway house, and that's what I was doing. I was putting a beat down. My first piece, I hooked up, and I ain't gonna lie, that shit got up in there, and it shit happened pretty quick. You thought you were doing something, but you're so excited, and then you're nervous because you don't want to be late to the halfway house, so you're kind of rushing, and you're looking at your watch. So it's kind of a challenge. But yeah, man, I knocked my first piece of ass out probably 3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks after I got out and got situated. And then from there, I was on them dating sites. I was terrorizing dating sites, man. I was just trying to, put it down, because I didn't really, it wasn't like I was super selective, because I didn't really have a place to even take these females, and I had to justify why I didn't have my own pad, why I didn't have this, why I didn't have that, because I was fresh out. And, it's hard to tell somebody that you've been down for X amount of years, and that's the reason why you're in the situation you're in. So most of the relationships, they weren't really relationships, they were just hookups. They didn't really last maybe past a couple times because of just how, financial status and stuff like that. But yeah, man, fuck around on them sites, man, them hookup sites, that's what was cracking for me. And that, kind of helped me get back into the groove of things, because as a man, you know, you want to make sure that you could please a woman, you know, and that's big. I mean, getting out, you know, into the world and being able to enjoy the opposite sex, people take it for granted. And dudes in prison, you know, especially guys that I ran across, you know, that knew that I was in the, you know, the porn game before I went in. They used to always ask me a bunch of questions and talk about it, man. And it was like, fuck, man, you be thinking about, like, just reminiscing on all the shit you did prior to getting locked up, and how it's going to be when you get out, if it's going to be the same, you know. And it's like, I guess they could say riding a bike, you know, you get up in there, do your thing, and you know, it comes natural. But yeah, you know, getting out, the dating sites makes a big difference, because everything now is online. You know, before you had to do a lot of I guess person to person, but now before you even meet that person, you pretty much already know what's going to happen. You got what do you call it, sexting pictures, you got you know, phone sex jumping off, and then you meet up and you just do the do. So yeah, it's a big thing for guys to get out. And a lot of times they get females that try to lock them in, and you know, just basically put these guys under wraps. And these initial females, like a lot of these guys hook up with, it's not often that those actually turn into real relationships, just because you're still trying to find your way. And I've even seen it where guys have hooked up with females, and the females get mad and try to get these guys violated if they leave them. And that's a cold game. I mean, because you already did all this time, and now they're trying to regulate the dick, and that ain't cool. So yeah, it's you know, it's pretty wild, man, getting out of prison and having sex again. And you know, you don't ever take that shit for granted, because I tell you, beating your meat ain't the same as actually being able to share yourself with another woman. You know, I'm married now, so it's all good, but you know, when I first got out, I was having fun, man, and that's what it's about. I mean, you can't knock a motherfucker for trying to, you know, experience something that he's naturally supposed to experience, you know, and that's just how it is. So yeah, getting out, getting your dick wet, man, that's one of the biggest and most beautiful things that can happen once you get out of prison, outside of getting money. You know, you got to get money first, of course, because you know, it costs money to live, but getting in some coochie, bro, man, ain't nothing like that.